Do you ever look around and see somebody move in a way that you know you can't move? You probably think you're too stiff, and that's not the way you were designed to move. What if I told you that's not all the way correct, and stretching isn't the answer for all stiffness issues? You want to maximize your game? You have to be able to move through your whole range of motion. You're watching Baseline MX, I'm Emily, and I'm going to give you a 3-step plan for fixing your mobility limitations. Step number 1, treat your soft tissue. Getting stronger is a process of tearing down our muscles, and as they repair stronger than they were before. But what can happen is that our body can lay down scar tissue. This scar tissue can cause a disruption in our collagen fibers and decrease the strength and mobility of those muscles. Picture this TheraBand. Its fibers are arranged in a way that allows it to stretch. What if the TheraBand had disruptions in the pattern? It wouldn't be nearly as strong, and it would be at risk of breaking. Soft tissue can decrease our scar tissue through that muscle, improving both our strength and mobility through that tissue. One of the muscles that we use a lot as softball players is our rotator cuff. Here's a good way to do soft tissue to your rotator cuff, is take a softball, right on the back of your shoulder, through this area here, you're gonna roll. And as you find that sore spot, you're gonna pin it. And as you pin it, you're gonna go ahead and move through that tissue. You might feel pretty achy and pretty sore as you do this, and that just means that you found a good spot to kind of work on that soft tissue. So try it out and see if you're sore through that tissue. Before we keep going, if you know you can't move the way other people move and you want to fix it, write yes or throw a hands up emoji in the comments. So step number 1 for addressing your mobility limitations is treat your soft tissue restrictions. Step number 2 is strengthening through your full range of motion. Some of us might not be able to do that because we can't access our full range of motion. And if you can't access your full range of motion, it's important to figure out why you can't access your full range of motion. If we don't move and strengthen through that full range, over time you will lose it. This is a great exercise for working through your full range of motion through your hip. It's called the single leg stand up. It's also great for helping you get up after you're done sliding. The single leg stand up is not the only way of strengthening your hip through its full range of motion. Here are some other ideas. On my step down, I'm actually not strong enough to go through my full hip range of motion. So I can offload my weight using TRX bands and achieve greater depth to strengthen through the muscles that I want to strengthen. Make sure as you're doing your strengthening, you're moving through your full range of motion, even if you have to adjust your weight or your reps. If you're finding this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss it when we post new videos. So to review so far, step 1, address your soft tissue restrictions. Step 2, strengthen through your full range of motion. And step 3 is address your joint mobility. Our mobility is made up of more than just how our muscles move, but also how our joints move. This is way more complex than I can explain in this short video, but here's the concept. We have what I call a roll and glide. As we roll forward through our joints, we have to glide back. As I roll forward with my knee, what has to happen is it has to glide back in the socket. So outside of having muscle restrictions, our joints can also provide restrictions that limit our mobility. As we play our sport, we're constantly bending forward through our mid-back. And as a result, we can get stiff through our mid-back, and this will facilitate a slump position rather than an upright position. This exercise allows you to mobilize through your mid-back and facilitates a more upright position so that you can feel more comfortable in your daily life and dominate on the field. So what you're gonna do is take this foam roller and you're just gonna put it right at your mid-back, and you're just gonna take a second mobbing through some of those joints in your mid-back. You wanna stay off of your low back as you do this. If you want to be able to perform and train at your best, you have to be able to move through your full range of motion. And there's some tips for being able to do that. Thanks for watching.